The idea of energy storage and delivery is really important in all of electronics, and that applies to both small-scale circuit board level electronics as well as industrial components. Some things just use a lot of electricity, and so we have to be able to deliver a lot of electricity in short bursts to accomplish a task. And usually for that, we don't turn to batteries, but we turn to capacitors. And just like every other component, capacitors come in all shapes and sizes depending on what our usage is. And here's a small variety of them. Some of these capacitors are very tiny components. They can supply some electricity, but they're usually used for smoothing out a voltage in a tiny circuit, like a digital kind of circuit. Other capacitors are electrolytic storage capacitors, often used for the same thing, but we find these very commonly in power supplies or power delivery for small devices like small motors. As we move up in size with capacitors, we find larger ones that can supply more power for devices like starting a single-phase motor or turning the AC into DC inside of a variable frequency drive. As the application gets larger and larger, we can expect the capacitors to get larger and larger too. There's a different kind of capacitor, though, that can deliver tremendous amounts of power over short bursts, and that is the supercapacitor. These supercapacitor modules come in lots of different voltages, but they can supply hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of amps over a very short time. Depending on what our application needs, we don't want to use a whole bank of batteries to deliver that constant power, but we just need to rely on a device that can give us a little bit of a boost of electricity exactly when we need it.